Okay, so I want to show what I am looking at specifically with Mara stock and Bitcoin for a continuation of a Bitcoin swing trade I'm using with IBIT that I've showed you guys before. And in order for me to want to take another Mara stock short, this is what I'm looking for. So we're going to start off with Mara stock. Just remember though, it's always a good reminder, we got some economic data and announcements coming up soon before this month ends. One of them being this week, this trading week starting tomorrow, October 20th. And then after this week is the FOMC announcement. But please remember though, everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. Please do your own research and due diligence. I am not telling you what to do. I just like to share for you guys what I am doing. But what do we have here? We have initial jobless claims Thursday, October 23rd. That one's going to be an hour before the market opens, I believe. This is all Eastern, basically NYSE time. And then we have New York time. So on Friday, October 24th, about the same time, an hour before market opens, core CPI. That one's going to be really important as well, and initial jobless claims as well, because then Wednesday, October 29th, we have the FOMC interest rate decision. So, and then, of course, 30 minutes after that, scheduled that's when Fed Chair Powell press conference starts. So this is going to be a big deal. But here's what I'm looking at regardless of these announcements. It's just something to keep an eye on, remember of, because it can highly influence at least the short-term direction of the markets. And then that can influence Mara stock and so on, like you guys already know. But if you guys remember, if you've been watching for a while, we've had 3 solid swing trades. The only ones I've really been focusing on this year, as we were coming down lower, we were, earlier this year in 2025, because we're getting near year end. I mean, we're already in Q4. But the idea here, just to give you guys some context if you're new, I'll make it quick because if you're not, I tend to repeat this often. We were looking at a lot of these short-term trade opportunities, measuring how low we can go based on previous fluctuations using fib extensions. Eventually, we bottomed out in this one with take profit being the value gap. So red is accumulation. We had another accumulation opportunity, 2 dips within it. Never broke below 1350 on that one, and then take profit. And I always give you guys these accumulation areas and take profit zones ahead of time, just based on at least what I'm looking for personally. So I gave you guys this one ahead of time. It worked out very nicely. The price rallied up into it, found resistance, came down into the next, which I gave ahead of time, the next accumulation zone. We traded in with this. We traded in here for a lot shorter of a time than I thought. I thought we will still be trading within this range, but we had a lot of short-term trading opportunities within it as the overall accumulation opportunity continues to present itself. And then eventually we went up, taking advantage of short-term value gaps as an opportunity to shave some profits. And then we were looking at the health of the overall rally into this value gap with some extensions and retracements, but regardless, it worked out very nicely. Take profit. I gave this area this one I think I gave it when we were still trading within before the halfway point of this red stage. But it worked out nicely. We passed the median area. It topped out basically at $23. So now because this trade, this last one did its thing. And if you guys were watching, or if you guys are on the Discord, you guys would have seen a puts I accumulated at a 2050 strike that expired last week, but I sold it a day ahead of time before it expired and locked in just over 50% on that one. But it did its thing, right? Accumulation, take profit. The reason these are more significant take profit zones is because a continuation higher from here it's not so likely. It's all about position sizing, understanding when to be greedy and then when to kind of step back. So we finally went up into the blue, so it's time to step back. So now what I'm looking at is an overall direction. So there's gonna be a lot of fluctuations within this, and this is what I'm focusing on because this is gonna allow me to open up another put position to take advantage of shorting this stock. But I don't want to do it just yet because on the 2 and even the 4-hour candles, we have a lot of value gaps right here that overlap nicely with this retracement. So it's basically between 2050 and 2175. So the idea here is that the move is downward, and we can come all the way down to low 15s, but really it'll be realistic to say that we can have a little bit of a wick, or it can just be a little bit of trading below 15. Ideally, the potential ideal low, if we were continuing to come lower and actually trade it from the red, is actually break below the red a little bit and trade in the 14s, because this would allow these previous support lines to be held. So trading into the 14s is it will make the most sense, very ideal. But this red is just here to represent high probability of a potential reversal. And I'm not saying a reversal to like a new high for this specific structure, but more of like a reversal where we can see the 20 being hit once again. Because the 20, if we come down to say 15, for example, 20 will be a really good retracement opportunity. I already know ahead of time. Like I can even show you guys. We come down to 15, 20, 23. See, we can easily go to 19 and 20, but conservatively 18 to 19, because we don't want to be too greedy with it. But anywhere from 18, because it's 1795 where it bottoms out. If we go to like 15, but yeah, 19 being the median, very high probability of a reversal, and it can still offer a nice trade opportunity. And then if we have that reversal after the zone is hit, then I'm just looking. I'll be keeping you guys updated, but I'll be measuring the health of any corrective rally to see if during this corrective rally, every pullback, is it holding micro retracements and breaking micro resistances, right? That can be an indication that there's still some bullish momentum, but we're not there yet. What I'm looking at right now for a shorting opportunity, and if this area, before I explain this, if this area ends up getting crushed and we just pop higher, I am not going to be FOMOing into this whatsoever, because we can easily have either just a higher shooting corrective wave, or it can just be a double top. We could easily go up to 25, but the thing is, I don't want to be part of that. There's a reason this area is here, and it's to remind me that it's just not sustainable to go up any higher before we have an overall correction, and this correction will be based off of the overall move higher. So this is factoring in the overall move from down here, the low. So if you want to be a little bit more aggressive with it, but I'm not, because it's just a super volatile stock right now. I can show you. You can just go from the low right here and then up to the high, and it shows that this kind of backs up the short-term stuff where there is strong potential here at that between 1850 and 19, where there's high probability of a corrective move to fill in some value gaps right here. So we are in that, but see, that will be way too hopeful, because if so let me show you guys right here. If we were following this price higher, right, if there was truly enough bullish momentum, we would have seen the price it's viewable, you can see right there. We would have seen the price find a low right here, and it would have started correcting from there, because it broke short-term retracement for support. Then there's just no reason to like be hopeful about it. Most likely, at least what I'm paying attention to, is if we can go up, and ideally I would like to catch a 2150 strike, but I'll be paying very close attention if the price allows itself to rally off of this ascending support line. The idea here is that ideally 21 and 2150 is where I would like to potentially buy some put contracts, those being the strike prices. TP will be simple, ideal TP, unless because there's a lot of random macro headlines coming out that's just so unpredictable. So really, let's say it goes up and I do get that 2150 strike. See, it overlaps very nicely with the 0.5 retracement 1663, And if we're like a little bit more conservative with it and say I only catch the 21 strike, it still comes into the discounted portion of this range down here in red, right? For a potential another opportunity for some consolidation around ideally like $15, 15.50 being like ideal consolidation because that's where we see a lot of trading. Technically, it's 15 to 16.50, but this discounted portion down here is very this area can fill very easily. That's just like the easiest way I can put it. So what I'm looking at is potentially, and this can change, so, but I'll keep you guys updated. 21 or 21.50 strike. Ideal TP being 16.50 in that range down here. If I want to be conservative with it, it just depends what's going on in the macro and if we're gonna respect some value gaps we had down here. 17 could be also a solid, but overall, even if I sell at 18, that's still an amazing trade. Just right when we break into this area, like 18.50 will still be perfect because it's breaking into the red. So really, anywhere in this red, it just depends how the stock is trading at the time, right? If this trade works out, so that's the idea. I'm not gonna go in. My position sizing is gonna be very, very like strict. I don't have an SL. I'm just gonna buy like 5 to 10 contracts. It's super cheap. And the profit is a lot. So I'm not even gonna use an SL when I trade options. I'm usually very like conservative with it. So I don't really care about SLs. That's just how much I'm willing to put into that trade. It's not like a regular equities trade where I want to have an SL. For me, I don't really care when it comes to these small contract positions. But like 5 to 10 contracts, regardless, that's what I'm doing. And it will most likely just be like, it depends when we come up here. If we come up here like really early into this week, then I'll probably be looking at like this coming up Friday's expiration. If we do it towards the end of the week, then it would just be the following Friday's expiration. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. A corrective rally up into this range. Ideally 21 to 22. So capturing that 21 and 21.50 strike. And then of course, even better if I catch the 22 strike. All of this being out of the money at the time, of course, to focus on those premiums. But yeah, that's my idea on Mara. I'm just waiting, and that's what I'm focusing on. When it comes to Bitcoin, I'm still, so if you guys have been watching for a while, if you have, you already know basically what I'm going to say. But if you're new, I'm going to give you guys an idea here. So when it comes to extensions and retracements, I always like to see the median area at least get hit. Ideally, I would like it to break through these median measurements, but I would at a minimum, as long as it hits it, that's all I care about. But we have enough momentum, and I've said this so many times with bullish extensions, retracements, it doesn't matter. Bullish and bearish, they all act the same when it comes to this. So we had enough momentum to break into this short-term deep value area. You guys already know I like to use purple as deep value. I began an IBIT trade. I put 50K into IBIT at the discounted portion of this range because that was my plan. And I'm holding on to it because I kept saying that at any point, if we happen to retest, or not retest because we never actually tested it, but now we finally have, the idea here is that if we come into this area, I would have liked to buy BitU, but then I realized, I'm like, you know what? It's still quite a bit of time. We have some macroeconomic stuff coming out soon, but the time factor doesn't make sense with how quick this has been decreasing, but not decreasing in a sense where like it takes away the potential of the bull market actually still being alive. I believe it's still alive, and all we've been seeing is a lot of external factors selling due to just macroeconomic headlines. So the idea here is that I'm still holding on to this IBIT, and I would like to add BitU if we can break the 0.5 at 99.5k. If we can actually trade somewhere between 93.5 and 99.5k, I'm buying BitU. At this point, I'm going to let this unfold a bit more because we're still downtrending. If I were to give you guys any extensions, it shows this bottom area being overlapped with extensions. So around 93k. So there's just no reason for me to force more into this trade just yet, because there is still plenty of downside pressure. I mean, the RSI maxed out already, so there is some bullish momentum forming. But we are at the 120 moving average. If you know, if I mean, we can even do micro measurements, and this is still absolutely fine. But if you consider this whole move down, we're up. We start rallying into short-term retracement, so it shows that it can easily go up to like 111k. But even if that happens, we can easily see a continuation move lower to continue to fill this area more. And that's where I would like to really add more to this and be more aggressive with it. If for any reason this crushes this area, is just rallying up, cool, I am invested. If we retest like 120k and we go up to like all-time high, like 120 to 125 k's, then that's fine. I'll be making money on that IBIT trade. But even if we are in this area, so the possibility of a higher low forming a continuation of a higher low is still very possible. I'm not going to draw an ascending support line. It just doesn't make any sense. But the thing here is that we are in short-term resistance. So it's valid. I'm gonna delete this one, so I'm not really gonna color code it too much. But if we can come down and hold above 105.5k, 105 to 105, 105.5k to 105.8k, it holds the opportunity for this micro swing high to actually be broken. We are in this area, so we are in resistance. So it makes sense that at any point we can see a continuation of a sell-off, continuing this overall downtrend within the structure, and come down lower further into the purple deep value area. We've seen this happen before. Last year we had a solid 3 dips within it before it broke out. We can see that again. Either way, us coming back into the purple, so below 107k, is very, very possible at the moment. If we hold a higher low, which is, again, the opportunity is open, but it's not as likely as it's just coming down lower, then I will be looking at it. We break the swing high and we go higher. At that point, if we actually hold a higher low and start going up higher, then I'm just, paying close attention to this overall retracement area. So this is going to be from all-time high down to the swing low. Basically, if we can, and this is why I'm not being so optimistic when it comes to this short-term resistance, because if you expect, or at least in my opinion, if you expect a very confident higher low to form just from micro resistances, and then we hold the higher low and break it, it's not as probable that it can hold itself sustainably. So we're in short-term resistance. From here, we can easily see lower prices. That's what I'm focused on, right? But if we want to see more solid evidence that a higher low can actually form, we need to see more bullish momentum in the short term going up into this overall retracement area. This overall retracement area makes it a lot more likely that a higher low will form because it's factoring in the whole move. So we can actually break into this area, so past 111.5k, ideally roughly 115k. If we can continue higher into this area, at this point, IBIT will be flat, but this is what really gives an opportunity to follow the price higher. Let's just say we do top out at 115k. It's realistic. It's at the 0.5 retracement. Then the higher low, if it tops out there, the higher low at the time that I will be trying to focus on would be this area. At that point, if we do come up into this area, especially hitting 0.5 retracement at 115k, then I am actually more, at that point, I'll be more focused on this zone actually holding a higher low than actually breaking it and coming down lower. But until we break into this area, regardless of what micro resistances say, or even micro, like a small picture uptrend forming, it's not even that significant because it's just factoring in noise. It's all just noise. So really, at this point, I'm looking for lower prices unless we can actually break into this area. Then I'm looking for a higher low. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I have 50k invested in IBIT. I'm very, very happy with holding IBIT or buying into IBIT while Bitcoin is below 120k. I think I got it somewhere between 116k, high 116s or low 117k. So I really, really like that. But in order for me to want to add more, I'm gonna summarize it all. In order for me to want to add more, we gotta hit that 0.5 or break it. Hit it or break it. This discounted portion was I'm really interested in buying. That's gonna really maximize my potential profit upside. I still believe this bull market's alive. And then um if I don't get that opportunity to add aggressively down there, then it's simple. If we just start going up higher, and regardless of what my charts say, if we just start trending higher, then cool. IBIT will be in the green. I'll be making profit, and then from there, we're just looking at the 128k price target level hit sooner rather than later. But regardless, that's the area I'm still focused on. I've been focused on this for quite some time. The first one was 114.5k, which we hit. The next level, 128k. That's the 1.236 extension. So yeah, hopefully this made sense, guys. I'm feeling really good about Bitcoin. I really like these discounted levels, but when it comes to short term, there's just a lot of noise right now. But I'm either gonna have an opportunity to add more. Ideally, I would like to see that, and I mean, the further we go into this purple, the harder the recovery out. But the thing is, I'm either gonna have an opportunity to buy more, or we're just gonna start trending higher, and I'll be in the green. And then when it comes to Mara stock, again, I'm looking for lower prices. I'm looking for prices to trade within this area, around that $15 range or $15 area down here. But when it comes to how I'm approaching this, when it comes to actually taking a position, is I will like to see a corrective rally form. In order for me to want to buy some puts, a little bit of puts, 5 to 10 contracts right here. Ideally averaging a 2150 strike. Nothing lower than 21 strike, but 2150 seems really realistic, and I feel like I can get that. But we'll see if I get that opportunity. So I'm looking for a lower high to form, and then continue, and it can fluctuate a lot. It's gonna have fluctuations, but the overall direction will be down here. That's what I'm focusing on right now. If we continue to go down, then I'm just looking to accumulate around that $15. That's where I'm looking to accumulate. I'm not gonna accumulate early on this one. I'm gonna let it max out because it's very possible, in my opinion, that it can. And yeah, and then if I'm gonna be watching this closely, because if for some reason the RSI isn't showing overvalued in the short term, we're not seeing any actual short-term weakness when it comes to volume shifting as we break into this area, then I'll let it keep running, because at that point, chances are it'll keep running. But I'm looking for some weakness within this area before I actually start buying puts. But I'll keep you guys updated, and you'll hear about it sooner on Discord than on YouTube. And even if I talk about it on YouTube, I'm only going to show the position on Discord either way. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.